Hello everybody, double image. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar. We do this show every day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. Of course, guys, is the bottom in? Is Bitcoin gonna go to 1 million in 90 days? We're gonna talk about that. And also we're gonna look at the video that we did on the bottom of the capitulation phase. We're not gonna look at the entire video. I'm just gonna show you a couple of things that actually we talked about previously that actually is playing out very, very nicely right now. So there is that. How's everybody doing in chat? Dimut first. How you doing, man? Good night, Moon. Yo, I've been watching since 2020. Old man. How you doing, man? It's not old man, it's like old crew. I don't know. How you doing, man? Nice. Is Bitcoin digital gold or a risk asset? I don't know. I think everything is a risk asset. Digital gold. But wouldn't you say that the gold is a risk asset as well? It can go down. I mean, I don't know. When did it become that? Well, it still does. Dobro jutro, Stanko. How you doing, man? I think this pump is mainly attributed to the bank failures in the US and people losing trust in these banks. No. The pump is literally the first, the second phase of the bull market. I'm gonna explain a little bit about that. Alif, long time no see. 9 am on the dollar, which is worth peanuts now. Exactly. I'm sorry about that. Yes, 9 am on the dollar, because we gotta know. Jürgen, welcome back. Jürgen, 2 months, nice. What's up, Decentral Planner? How you doing, man? XRP Legend, good morning. Alif, I hold 0 Bitcoin. This might be a mistake. Yeah, it is a mistake. My portfolio is 0 Bitcoin. My wife's portfolio is 0 Bitcoin, but her mom has some kind of Bitcoin, so there is that. And I think I also made a mistake there because I was telling everybody the very first thing that's gonna happen is that Bitcoin is gonna blow through the sky. Bitcoin goes first, it outperforms everything, and only when Bitcoin is at top, then the altcoins come in play, right? So getting altcoins instead of Bitcoin might have been a mistake. I do agree on that because it is playing very, very nicely. Hey all, I hope all is well. Call Crypto, DJ EB, what's up? Dr. Carla, a very good morning, everybody. Mladen is in the chat. Alif, Tila forgot. No. Don't forget to like, guys. Just bought our dream beach house. Being my own bank and Bitcoin biggest holding. Very special feeling. Congrats, Dr. Carl. That's all what's about. Your very own bank. That's good. Guys, there is another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to, this being the bottom. There is another thing that I want to show you that actually proves that the bottom is in. Just like we went down when we went down to 20k, 80k, there was definite signs all over the place that the bottom was in, and right now that we hit the bottom of the capitulation, and that the Bitcoin was overextended towards the downside. And on-chain analysis also confirmed that, but right now the signs are showing that we are already getting out of this bottom already. So it is good times, and it's also good to know that we kind of had a nice call on the bottom and everything played out well. So this video over here is called The Worst. Where is it? The worst just might be over, sunny days ahead. And this video is from 9 months ago. It's actually from June 20th, so around up here, if you see down here, I don't know if you can see it. This is June 19. June 19 we hit something like 1870k. This was the capitulation move towards downside. This is only the first move. So the day after this capitulation move towards downside, we made we had a Bitcoin daily called The Worst Just Might Be Over, sunny days ahead Bitcoin daily, right? So up here we talked about a couple of things that I think is very interesting, because I went back and I looked a little bit about my old videos to see what we've been talking about, how this actually played out. So we're gonna look at a couple of things over here. We can start with that, and then we look at the price of Bitcoin and how it's playing out. So over here is sunny days ahead. We gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin, with altcoins, and with everything. Right now we are going through the capitulation, and we just might be through that right now. The worst just might be over. Sunny days ahead. Somebody said in the chat, sunny days as we are gonna get homeless and have to we're gonna get a lot of sun. Maybe we're gonna. So capitulation phase, the worst might be over, sunny days ahead. So there is that. But the important parts up here, 1220, what is it? 1220 up here. Let's go there. So over here we talk about, you know, the first phase of the accumulation phase. There's that. Guys, very good days ahead. I think we are through the capitulation phase, the last, you know, the last dump phase. Right now, what we are expecting is some kind of accumulation phase. People are calling this bear market. This is not the bear market. You know, bear market just ended. This is the ending of the bear market. Right now, we are going into the first phase of the bull market, and that's the accumulation phase. After accumulation phase, you get this, you know, lead-in phase, and then you gotta, you know, blow off phase, you know, at the top, right? Kind of cracking. Kind of crack is my voice. That's so there is that. That's the first accumulation. So we already knew that once we came down to the, you know, capitulation, you know, once the capitulation was done, we are in the accumulation phase. It's already the bull market. This is the very first day of the bull market. You know, which day was that? June 20, that's the very first day of the bull market. People think that, you know, bull market starts when you started doing the last phase, the third phase of the bull. That's the bull market. No, the bull market starts at the bottom because that's when you buy, and it ends at the top, that's when you sell. It doesn't end when you start buying up there at the top, right? So the bull market, although this very first phase is very, I think I even said somewhere up here in the video, but I cannot find it, although the first phase of the bull market is very boring, it's very scary. The most amount of fear you're gonna experience is in this very first you know, phase of the bull market. And this over here is, you know, that's the accumulation phase, right? So that's where they actually, you know, where the, you know, strong hands and people who believe, they buy, you know, buy down there, right? They buy down there. So 2020 up here, let me see up here. 16,000. It looks very, very difficult right now. So the way I'm seeing this right now, I think we are at the bottom. Now I said, you know, the bottom is not just a level and then you go straight back up again. It doesn't happen that way. You need to have consolidation phases. Consolidation phases take time, 3 to 6 months plus, you know, maybe even, you know, half a year or something like that, 2 years. Depends on how long consolidation phase is. So about consolidation phase, 3 to 6 months, maybe a year, maybe longer, give or take, right? The consolidation phase in 2015 took like something like, I think, around 9-10 months as well. In 2017 it took like 3 to 6 months, right? So these consolidation can last, but they did last, right? Right now we are through 9 months of the consolidation phase, the accumulation phase on the bottom. So this played out well as well. 2220 up here as well. Look over here, this is the start of the bull market, guys. This is the start of the bull market. We are done with the bear market. This is the first phase of the bull market starting. This accumulation, then you get into some kind of, you know, lead-in phase, and then you get this blow phase once you get through the previous all-time high, right? There are 3 phases in any parabolic moves or any kind of big moves towards the upside. So this is how it starts, guys. This is the very start of the bull market. The same over here. This was the start of the bull market, right? And then we moved a little bit up here. Then we had some kind of movement up here and, you know, exploding phase towards the end, right? And the same thing is gonna happen here, right? Here we're gonna have some kind of, you know, some kind of accumulation phase, then we're gonna have some kind of lead-in and some kind of exploding phase towards the upside. So, you know, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but this is the start of the bull market, guys. This is the very, very start of the bull market. You need to stop calling this a bear market right now, because right now everybody's calling it a bear market. I even read, let me try to find the article yesterday. I think so, as you just said, once we came down to, if you remember, once we came down on the bottom down at the 18K, right? And we came, you know, we called it end of the, you know, bear market, but everybody was, oh, this is the bear market right now. The bear market doesn't start at the bottom. It, you know, the bull market starts at the bottom. The bear market started when the top finished at the top, and we just came down at the bottom. We were celebrating that, you know, the bear market is over. What everybody was, you know, getting into fear and thinking, you know, this is dead, right? So we kind of knew. The next thing I'm gonna show you up here is, I think it's funny because this there was a prediction from Norwegian newspapers. There was this article in a Norwegian newspapers. Never happened before. I'm gonna explain to you. But there was some kind of expert right on the right when we hit capitulation rate. There was some kind of expert calling for 14K Bitcoin. So let's see that. There we go. This has never happened before, guys. This has Bitcoin price below 20K. This has never happened before, and you know, it's very bearish article. There is some kind of expert. talking about that Bitcoin is right now falling below this, you know, previous all-time high, and this has never happened before. And analytiker Vetle Lunde in Arcane thinks that price of Bitcoin is gonna go more down to some kind of 14k, because yeah, that's a realistic, you know, bottom, because for whatever reason then you get liquidate all of these, you know, big you know, positions. So he thinks, you know, the 14k is gonna be the bottom. And he's, you know, the article is very bearish, and they wrote this article, and, you know, we have more downside to come. It's gonna go down to 14k. And I wrote in the chat yesterday, in Telegram chat, that, you know, after I read this article, I know now for the fact we are never gonna see 14k, guys. After I read this article, we are never going, in the mainstream media, the biggest newspaper in Norway, that, you know, the 14 is the bottom. It's very, very bearish, guys. Very, very bearish. Don't buy just yet. Let us buy, you know, don't buy just yet. You know, but, you know, 14 is gonna be the bottom, you know, it's gonna go more down. It's gonna go more. I know for the fact right now, we are not going back down to 14k, guys. We are not going back down to 14k. So these, you know, there you go, guys. The 14k didn't happen. We came to 15.5, sure, but we didn't come to 14k. So the prediction came true. We are never going back down to 14k ever again. So 15.5 bottom. Right now we are going outside of that, and I'm gonna show you as well that we did, you know, get out of that accumulation phase right now. There might still be, you know, reasons to go down, but it won't be, you know, because of, you know, we need to go down because of another accumulation phase. It will be some kind of events in the world that might push us down, black swan events and stuff like that. I understand that, but, you know, normal moves up like this up here, you know, yeah, it's not going down to 14k. And the last thing I want to show you is up here at 24.03. Where is it? 403 up here, give or take. I actually missed the where did I talk about that? I think somewhere up here, 24. Now this over here is not the bear market, guys. Let me just go to the weekly time frame. Now over here. Like we said over here, this over here is not the bear market, guys. This over here is the bear market. So people have been saying, hey man, just dollar cost average, DCA, 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 right? Because people don't know. I wouldn't say that dollar cost averaging is a good strategy once you are overextended from the moving averages. I think that's a very bad strategy, you know, buying the tops, you know, and you know, dollar costing averaging on the way down. I think it's a very bad strategy. On the other hand, right now that we hit some kind of bottom and that we think that there is limited side on the downside, I think dollar cost averaging is a good strategy indeed. And right now, because right now you don't know whether the bottom is here or there or here, or you know, but we know pretty much that we should be, you know, where the bottom is right now. So dollar cost averaging strategy, you know, yeah, you know, I'm not saying that you should buy anything or stuff like that, not financial advice, or I'm not saying you buy this coin over that coin. I'm just saying in general terms that, you know, dollar cost averaging strategy, you know, when you are some kind of top, is not a good strategy. It might be, you know, dollar cost average your, you know, your sells on the way to the towards top, you know, sell a little bit because you don't know where the actual top is. But when you're on the bottom, you know, down here you should dollar cost average, not up here, right? Not up here, not in some kind of, you know, pullback. But right now that we're going through this capitulation move towards downside, you know, even though we might have, you know, more downside to see right now, and I'm saying I'm still gonna give this, you know, another week's time to see how far we actually can. Yeah, but yeah, the dollar cost averaging is down at the bottom, not up the top. So I did watch the entire video and stuff like that, and I think it's interesting to look at back what we actually was looking at, and it did play out, you know, in a way. And this was actually done. Let's go to the daily time frame up here on the 19th. So right up here, where is the 1920? Right down there, this is the candle. So over here, when it came to this bottom down here, this is where the video on this green candle up here on the move towards upside. Over here, the worst might be over up here. So we, you know, at the very bottom we said like the capitulation happened, there is that. Right now we are going into the accumulation phase. This is the very first start of the bull market over here. It can go a little bit up, a little bit down. Dollar cost averaging on the bottoms is more, you know, useful than actually dollar cost averaging on the downside. So there is that, of course. And over here we'll see right now that I'm going to show you up here that there is definite proof that right now we are outside of this accumulation phase. Actually there is a couple of proofs, but it already looks like we are very much out of the capitulation phase. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. It did play out, you know, the way. We did not hit 14K. We did have, you know, 9 months of consolidation phase. Accumulation is done. The very first phase of the bull market is done. So people are thinking that right now the bull market starts. No. What's happening right now is that we are starting the second phase of the bull market. That's the, what is called? It's not lead up, or I forgot what it's the name. It's called, I wrote up here as well, yeah, the markup phase. Yeah, the markup phase. The first phase is the accumulation phase, and that's done. The second phase is the markup phase. So you got several phases of a bull market. So you got an accumulation phase up, and then once you are out of the accumulation phase, you got some kind of markup phase towards the upside. Then, you know, it comes another consolidation phase or something like that, and, you know, the blow off top at the end of that, right? So right now what we are doing, at least from my, you know, understanding of the markets, is that we are going into this second phase of the you know, of the market right now, and that's the after accumulation phase. Accumulation phase is pretty much done, and I'm going to show you why. But right now we are going into this second accumulation phase that's happening. So if you know, dollar cost average and bought down, you might still get a chance, like, you know, COVID dump down here for whatever reason, right? I'm not saying this cannot happen, or right over here. You might still get to buy in lower, but you know, everybody who wanted to buy bought down here. So billionaires, hedge funds, everybody who wanted to get, you know, Bitcoin down there, they did already get in. So if you do go down there, is to get out the long positions. So you gotta understand that over here there is a lot of long positions towards upside, right? A lot of long positions that have been set up right now, and they're gonna keep this long position open for a long time, right? But they got stop losses, you know, they got stop losses below these levels over here. So if you do see some kind of move, you know, down over here, could this happen? Definitely can. Just like over here, we had some kind of, you know, long position over here where we spring towards upside, you know, but we could see a larger, bigger move down over here for whatever reason, get out some of these longs and then continue towards upside. You'll see up here on the Corona dump, that's exactly what happened up here. Although we did not come all the way down to the bottom, down here or below the bottom previously, we did have this big move towards downside where we got out a lot of long positions. Got a lot of people scared and just, you know, returned back to the case. Will we get another spring towards downside, a bigger spring like the Corona spring towards downside again before the next, you know, last phase of the bull market starts? I don't know about that, but we are pretty much out of the accumulation phase. Now let me show you a very decisive move on Bitcoin that indicates that we are actually out of the let's do this on a logarithmic chart because it's easier to see. I actually think it's not easier. I think it's easier to see on this chart over here. So if you remember, we said there has been many, you know, indications of the bottom, but one of the indications is the capitulation phase, and that's these, you know, big 30, 40, 50% moves towards downside. This over here, entire move is like, you know, the last monthly move is 44% down. So this is definitely a capitulation phase, right? Same thing you'll see over here in 2017. You know, this 36% move towards downside. This kind of the capitulation phase. It's just one of the indicators that actually happens on the way down. And over here you'll see that the capitulation phase down here also was a 32% move towards the downside, right? But we also know that these big moves outside of accumulation phase, when you get like 30 or 40% moves outside of accumulation phase, they also indicate end of the accumulation phase and the start of the, you know, second phase of the bull market. So over here is accumulation phase, but, you know, see here 36% move towards the upside right after the accumulation is done, 36% move towards the upside, and that just continues going towards the upside, right? And over here in 2017, it took a little while up here, but, you know, this big, you know, this was actually 60% move up here. How much this? yeah, this is a 29% move. So this very first month after the accumulations on, you know, it's around 30%. It's around 30%. And right now you'll see that right now we did already that. Actually, 2.5 months ago, we did a 40% move outside of that, you know, that zone. So although we are not above these, you know, highs up here, we are still, you know, continuing. But a 40% move. What does that indicate? That indicates a lot of short positions have been closed, and that indicate, you know, shortest capitulation phase, right? So over here we actually have, and we can actually see the shortest capitulation phase. Let's go to the daily time frame up here. Very nicely. So everybody would assume that, you know, outside of this, you know, 25k range up here, that right now we are gonna get short squeeze or something like that towards the upside, because we are outside of accumulation, and so people are gonna start closing the short position. It doesn't happen that way, guys. From the bottom towards the upside, guys, from bottom towards the upside, we are already something like 50%. So even if you had something like 2x long down here on the bottom, or short on the bottom down here, you're still, you know, liquidated. The short squeeze was up here, guys. This was a short squeeze. This parabolic move towards the upside, although it wasn't that big, you know, it didn't go down to 100k or anything like that. This is the short squeeze, guys. This is short. I did not understand this actually until, you know, a day ago, something like that. That this over here was the short squeeze. So there are no more short squeeze. Everybody got short squeezed up here, because all of these, you know, even if you shorted up here or here or here, doesn't matter where you shorted. Even these that shorted down here at the bottom and was thinking it's gonna go down, once it started curving towards the upside, they were closing these short positions. They were closing these short position, and the higher it started going towards the upside, all of these short positions started closing, because they are like, oh shit, this is not supposed to happen. So even these guys up here that were in profit, they were starting closing. So this over here was the capitulation phase of the shorts. This over here was actually the short squeeze. And once we came up here at the top, the short squeeze actually ended. There were new shorts being made up here and stuff like that. There was over shorts up here, and you know, this was also you know, a small short squeeze, but not as, you know, volatile and big as this one. But you know, it's still going towards the upside. But over here, this is the important part. That's where we actually exit, you know, shorters exited the market, and then we came to some kind of you know, reaccumulation zone, or if you want to call that, did a wick towards the upside again, you know, squeezed out the shorts towards the upside, and right now we're moving towards the upside up here. But it's very important to note that this over here, this part over here is the you know, short squeeze that we have been actually waiting for, but we kind of missed that. But you can see here, because I was thinking that if we get the short squeeze, we're gonna get it above the highs, right? Like over here in 2014-15, because this over here was a short squeeze, right? We came into accumulation zone, we came down here, and then slowly started building up. But these, you know, these shorts up here, these shorts up here got, you know, squeezed up, and this just exploded towards the upside. But this was extreme, you know, extreme version of what we are going through now. So the reason this can actually happen in 2015 and not right now is because there is a lot less liquidity and there is less liquidity and volume, but more volatility in the charts or in the markets. So we can, you know, there was, you know, probable, you know, these, you know, 120% more, you know, short squeeze moves. They were very probable. But you can see here, as soon as we squeeze that right back down again, consolidate up here, and you know, continue on its own way, right? But the short squeeze happened, and it was quite huge. So I was actually expecting something like that when it comes to some kind of short squeeze. But now that you know, I do look at the chart again up here, this over here, this parabolic move towards the upside up here, this was a short squeeze, came up here, you know, and still trying to push it down, and right now going towards the upside. So I don't think we're gonna see another short squeeze, because right now we are above these levels up here, and I don't think anybody else, I mean, there are definitely still people who are still bearish and still shorting and stuff like that, but there is not many left. And any kind of smart, you know, any smart people that, you know, already are down on shorts, they don't want to see, you know, they don't want to see this, you know, their shorts get wrecked on the way up, so they're already closed positions. So that's one of the biggest indicators that we are out of the accumulation zone, and that's once you get the short squeeze, or, you know, shortest capitulation. So shorters are capitulating, and we are out of that move. So, you know, that's one of the important things. So right now we're gonna look at this move up here. Of course, will this continue towards the upside up here, guys? Guys, this is a very, very strong move. Yeah. I'm a little bit unsure whether we are going to continue the move towards the upside. You understand? I'm a little bit unsure whether this is just gonna continue, you know, another 50% in next week, another 50% in next week, you know. It does seem a little bit unreasonable for this move to go in straight line towards the upside, right? It is very, very unlikely. I mean, if we do get the 1 million Bitcoin in 90 days, this might happen. But unless that happens in 90 days, it does seem a little bit unlikely that we are just going to go in straight line towards upside, because this is how fast we are going right now, and it is a very, very steep line. So I am expecting, you know, this trend to be broken, to have some kind of consolidation phases, to have some kind of more sideways movement, to go a little bit, you know, slower towards the upside up here, right? But you know, maybe it's just gonna increase up here very fast. I don't know. Could it do this move? I mean, technically it can. Technically it can. I don't know. So maybe on small time frames we're gonna get some kind of, you know, consolidation. I don't expect the dump yet. I don't see any kind of topping out pattern, and I'm gonna show you that. And it is very, very important, you know, that we talk about that. I don't see any kind of topping out pattern. I don't see any kind of top that's being built right now to top. Yes, we are getting some kind of, you know, high levels, but I don't see any kind of topping out pattern. So consolidation might happen. Consolidation might happen the way I see it. I think even a pullback might happen a little bit, but I don't see any kind of topping out pattern where we're gonna go down, right? So once this consolidation starts happening, if it starts looking weak, we might be looking for some kind of down move, but there is no topping pattern. So this eventually I think it's gonna, you know, continue towards the upside up here. But I do believe in consolidation patterns, although I do not like to underestimate the bull market and the bullish trends, and especially strong bullish trends, because oftentimes when you have a strong bullish trends, people tend to think, oh my god, this cannot just continue, you know, towards upside, you know, it needs to consolidate, it needs to pull back. There are no pullbacks, right? Oftentimes in these markets there doesn't need to be consolidation phases. It can be, but it doesn't need, like, because oftentimes we are a very, you know, hardwired thing. Okay, we pumped up a little bit consolidation, pump a little consolidation, but in strong markets, because they happen so rarely, in the strong, you know, uptrends and downtrends, these consolidation phases can, you know, happen several different ways. So will we have a consolidation phase up here or not? That kind of depends. Now about and we're gonna zoom in a little bit more, and we're gonna show you, you know, very nice channels and how this might actually play out. You can see this dump here, this bullish engulfing candle right back up here, but it's kind of telling me already that it's kind of losing a little bit, you know, steam up here, but it's still holding the supports. Yesterday or the day before that, I talked about, you know, somebody mentioned that there was a guy that is betting $1 million that Bitcoin will hit $1 million in 19 days, and that's because I did not know actually reason at that time. I did not know reason why he was saying that, and I thought it was just, you know, a publicity stunt. It always is, right? And there is always something that, you know, shows that you know, because of this or that, because of this chart, because of that chart, right? I did not actually know the reason why he was saying that we are gonna go to million. But yesterday I watched the Ivan on Tech video. You might want to watch the yesterday's Ivan on Tech, you know, Crypto Daily. And he was talking about this guy and actually showing the Twitter posts and the statistics about, you know, what this guy thinks. And he thinks that hyperinflation might hit in 19 days and Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million. And that might be the case if hyperinflation does hit. So if you haven't seen the hyperinflation chart, and Ivan on Tech does shows a very nice chart. Let me just try to see it. Ivan on Tech. You can go check the video, this video after this video. He does explain it a little bit. This one up here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this chart over here. Very nice chart. I don't know. Can you see this? Yeah, so this is Germany value of gold mark in paper marks. This is years of, you can see around the First World War. This is when Deutsche Mark got hyperinflated. What you're gonna see here, this is, you gotta understand, this is logarithmic chart. It's not a regular chart. So if you understand, if you see some kind of charts going a little bit sideways and towards the upside, on a logarithmic chart, on the regular charts it goes almost straight towards the upside, right? So on logarithmic chart, when you see a line going straight up, on almost straight up towards upside. On the regular chart, it actually goes straight up. It goes so fast towards upside, right? It goes extremely fast. Logarithmic charts, when they go like this towards upside, this is extreme fast moves. You can see up here this is start of 22 to 23, and this is 23 to 24. I think it is because these numbers are not on the lines, they're in the middle of the lines. I don't know if the 23 is over here or over here, it doesn't matter. But let's say over here is the start of 23, and over here it's the end of 2024. So this is almost, you know, 6 months in. Actually 3 months in up here. So between 3 months in and, you know, up here, maybe, or, you know, 3 to 6 months after that, this exploded towards the upside, right? So this is the hyperinflation. So it took 3 to 6 months, I think, you know, give or take. I don't know how fast this actually started, but, you know, 3 to 6 months that, you know, this just went, you know, just destroyed. So this is the hyperinflation. But the hyperinflation was already going, you know, deflation was going strongly for, you know, 1, 2, 3 years or something like that. How long this actually from 2018? Can we say that 2018 started inflation up here? 2018, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for 5 years you are having this, you know, inflation bug that was, you know, creeping up, and then suddenly it just explodes towards upside. So when he says that in 90 days Bitcoin is gonna hit 1 million because of hyperinflation in the US, and in 90 days, you know, we're gonna get hyperinflation because banks are gonna fall. I think he might be right that hyperinflation is gonna happen. I don't think he's right on the timing though. I think that because I still believe that banks are gonna go down, and central bank digital currency CBDCs are gonna come and take over, right? I still believe that, but I don't think it's gonna happen in 90 days. And the reason for that is that CBDCs are not ready just yet. I think they want to get them CBDCs ready, and then, you know, the hyperinflation happens, and then everything goes, you know, bust. And then, you know, the CBDCs are, you know, the sole, you know, currency of the world, and everything else is wrecked. So any kind of, you know, dollar that people are having, any kind of, you know, any kind of debt they'll be having, you know, it might be gone. But before we get to that, it might actually be. So my thought process is like, first we're gonna have a financial crisis. There will be no inflating of the. There will be no hyperinflation of the dollar. We will have the financial crisis. Everything will get, you know, wrecked. The banks will fall, but the dollar will still stay strong. Everybody will be in so much debt, and when everybody has, you know, whatever is gonna come next, when that happens, only then, when everybody has, you know, given up whatever they're giving up, only then after that, there will be a period of time, I think, when stuff happens after the financial crisis. Only then after that, there will be a hyperinflation, and hyperinflation will technically, you know, remove the debt, all the debt, and, you know, that's how they're gonna pay off the debt, right? So if you got, you know, 30 trillion of debt in US right now, and you get hyperinflation, then, you know, you just print a, you know, new bill. Here's a 30 billion bill, let's pay the debt off, you know, whatever. So there is that. So I don't think, you know, I think that he might be right on the hyperinflation eventually, but I don't think it's gonna be 19 days though. And the reason for that is I don't see the banks. I don't think it's time just yet. I don't think it's time just yet. Okay, so let's go up here. Will Bitcoin come to, you know, to 1 million 90 days up here? I don't think that just yet. It goes very fast towards upside, but not fast enough. Now I did, you know, look at price action right now versus price action in 2017 on this move up here. I've been trying to, you know, understand a little bit how these moves happen. Let's go to the daily time frame up here because it was a little bit shorter up here. So over here, so you can see up here, once we got to this, this is also a shortest capitulation up here, slowly clipping towards upside, and I have this shortest capitulation. But especially with this week up here, it's pretty much done, and then it continues towards upside over here. But this looks like a shortest capitulation up here. So let's assume there was a shortest capitulation over here. Over here, and let's go to this, you know, we can also go to the daily time frame up here. So this move up here, although it did go up above these highs up here, I think that's this move up here, and then we go into some kind of consolidation move over here. Consolidation move over here, but the part down here, I think this part up here, because this part goes above the highs up here, and this part over here goes up above this part up here. So it's a lot more, you know, squeezed part. So we can actually zoom in a little bit on that part over here. So to me, although this is on the daily time frame over here, although this part over here is on the daily time frame, and this one is, you know, on 1 hourly time frame, or, you know, 4 hourly time frame up here, they kind of seem the same to me. They kind of seem the same. We can also go down here a little bit, you know, squeeze down here. We gotta, every time I do this, I gotta go back in the charts. There we go. Let's go back a little bit time. These two moves kind of seem the same to me for some reason, right? Let's just remove everything up here. These two moves kind of seem the same to me. And what you're gonna see here is there was some kind of you know, some kind of first of all, there was some kind of very sharp move towards upside where it went down, right? But over here there also seemed to be this initial move, and then the sharp move towards upside, right? So as you see up here, although I'm still strongly bullish, I'm a little bit thinking that this might be the thing that's unfolding right now. And we got also this, you know, blow off move up here, blow off move, and then you go into this, you know, zigzag phase and zigzag phase, right? And I'm already seeing some overextensions here towards upside right now. So could we get a, you know, move down over here to some kind of, you know, 1450K or whatnot, do another consolidation, you know, uptrend consolidation up here, and then continue towards upside up here eventually? That can definitely be the case. But these two moves do seem, you know, this is the best, you know, right now, you know, because it's hard to understand what's going to happen next when you don't have any kind of clear patterns. This looks like just a channel towards upside, but there is clear impulsive move followed by exhaustion pattern towards upside. Now, impulsive move followed by exhaustion pattern, you know, it doesn't go exhausting forever, and this can definitely break this channel towards upside. And if it does break towards upside, it's just gonna explode to 40K immediately, right? So if this move over here, you know, breaks it towards upside, it's just gonna explode like crazy over here, right? That's my case. So if you see the channel up here breaking towards upside, you're just gonna know it's just gonna explode like crazy. On the other hand, this pullback down here might actually be a lot more, what you're gonna see, it might be a lot more convincing right now, because I've already seen people as, you know, super bullish. I watched Jordan Cameron yesterday. He had a poll: are you bullish or bearish? What comes first, you know, 30K or 23K or something like that? And like 60-70% people said, like, you know, 30K comes next. You know, and people, because of this 90 days, $1 million bet, people are extremely bullish. And people think, yeah, there is no way this can go down again, right? So I think there is a lot of euphoria hitting right now. And you also got to analyze charts a little bit based on, you know, how people are feeling about the next moves and stuff like that, right? So I think over here right now, we are coming to definitely some kind of top over here. We are coming to definitely some kind of top over here. This in 2017, but you know, over here it was, you know, the bullishness was very, very strong, and then it went down. It still continued going towards upside up here, broke this towards upside, failed that, and, you know, right back down again, consolidate. But once these, you know, highs up here on this consolidation phase, however long this consolidation phase is, right? As soon as this, you know, consolidation phase up here was done and we broke towards upside up here, this exploded right again towards upside. So will we see something like that over here? Will we see something like that? Why? Will we see something like that over here right now, where we go into some kind of, you know, channel towards upside, then break down, then do this, you know, consolidation phase over here for a while, and then eventually, you know, break above previous top up here and then go towards upside? That might happen, because right now over here there are a lot of people that are, you know, too bullish, a little bit too bullish for their own good, right? So some kind of pullback or something like that, you know, to scare them a little bit, that might be the case. So let's go to the daily time frame, because we are right now at some kind of, you know, 72 levels on the RSI up here. Up here we are actually at 90 levels, and this oftentimes comes to some kind of 90 levels before it pulls back down. I'm going to show you that why that is the case. So I think we might even go a little bit higher up here, you know, push this up even higher towards upside up here. We're gonna see how high we actually get, but it can definitely be the case that we go higher. We don't have to go to 90, but, you know, we can go a little bit higher up here. I'm not saying that this is exact top up here. I'm saying this can even go, you know, to some kind of 30k and then pull back or something like that. Yeah, I still, you know, and not only that, you know, right now in the 4-hourly time frame we got a bullish engulfing candle bouncing off the support level. So I do actually think that this might actually even go towards upside. But even up here we are already creating some kind of divergences on the small time frames, 4-hourly time frames. But on the daily time frame we are hitting 75 levels. So let me go back to 2000 and let me go back to 2017 up in this move up here and show you how the RSI actually went up here. So this was actually a very strong move, and if you are to get this kind of strong move on the RSI, you can see that every one of these moves come to some kind of 80-90 levels up here, right? So this first move came in on 80-90 level, then consolidated, then went up to 80-90 level, then consolidated over here, then it went up here for the third time to 80-90 level, 80-90 level, consolidated, and then pull back, right? But these 80-90 levels are very important. The next important levels are like 75 levels up here. That's just before, you know, we swing up to, you know, 90 levels up there. So that's on the daily time frame. So indicators are not actually very good, you know, predictor of what's gonna happen, but it does help you once you see some kind of topping out patterns and stuff like that. It might actually tell you that we are a little bit, you know, too overextended and stuff like that. Let me show you down here on my own indicator up here. This is all on the daily time frame. What you're gonna see here that yesterday actually, no, actually 3 days ago, we actually hit this top at 16 right now. So my indicator right now is actually pulling towards downside, towards zero line, but this can actually pull back while you are going sideways up here. You can even go towards downside and pull back. You can even go towards upside up here and it still pull back. Depends on how fast you're going, but this oscillator, which always tries to go towards zero line. So sideways move will push this back towards downside. But on this move up here, we were very overextend towards upside. And you can see up here, you gotta go back to, you know, the real bull market to see these kind of overextensions on the daily time frame. Up here, down here and down here. This was in or up here. So either the bull market up here or this more, you know, almost parabolic move up here. So these kind of overextensions on the daily time frame, these kind of moves towards the upside, right, we only had up here in the bull market and up here in this move out of the accumulation zone. So you can see right now it is very, you know, violent move towards upside. It is very overextended, but this overextension can continue pushing towards upside. It's actually quite bullish, right? But what we need to understand is that right now we are looking for some kind of pullback eventually, and I've been looking at the charts a little bit differently up here. I think that the channel goes something like this up here, give or take, and the reason for that is because this line up here is very nice. So we're gonna try to maybe something like this up here. You can see up here that we actually failed. This is already showing weakness in the chart. The fact that you go below the support and then right back up, although you came right back up again, it does shows a little bit, you know, weakness. It shows that the trend, there is already some kind of bearishness. They're showing that there are already short people, you know, trying to push the price down. There is still bullishness up here, and it can go all the way up, you know, some kind of 31 up here or whatnot, right towards the upside. It can definitely happen right now, but we need to be aware that, you know, it can happen on the way up here where it actually turns around and you have a little bit bigger dump, you know, to scare people out and then continue towards the upside. So this channel up here, you know, we are looking for this channel to break below. If it does break below, it might actually start consolidating over here. So I think consolidation right now, it's more likely than a bigger move towards the upside. I think consolidation is a little bit more likely, just to consolidate a little bit. So we can still move towards the upside. And I think we're still gonna, you know, eventually hit you know, certain levels. If Mladen is to be trusted, 46k will eventually happen, right? But for 46 to happen, we need to break this channel towards the upside. Up here we're creating right now some kind of safe pullback that once the top happens, we might actually go towards the upside at later point. But right now I will be a little bit, you know, careful with, you know, FOMOing in. If you haven't FOMOed it by, you know, by 28k, you know, I cannot help you, man. I cannot help you. You know, there's that. Okay guys, any questions about anything? Bitcoin dominance with Jackson at 48. So yeah, people have also been looking at Bitcoin dominance, and I've also been looking at Bitcoin dominance, although I do not analyze Bitcoin dominance that much. What I can show you is, you know, how it happened before. So let's go to the weekly time frame up here. What you're gonna see here, we are going into this, you know, range up here. Right now we are, you know, the dominance is exploding. So the dominance means that Bitcoin is outperforming other coins. So when dominance goes towards upside, it doesn't mean that all, you know, altcoins are going down. These are altcoins, right? It doesn't mean that altcoins are going down. It just means that altcoins are going up. As it could mean that altcoins are going, but they are going up less than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is going up more than, you know, average of the altcoins. So that's only thing that you know, the dominance actually is telling us. Now what we can show you over here on the chart, we can go to BTC USDT. Up here we can you know, price new scale. What I can show you up here is from the previous bottom down here, we started up here, so this was some kind of, you know, the dominance went down, and over here actually on the sideways movement the dominance went up. So what does this mean? What does this mean when Bitcoin goes sideways and the dominance goes towards the upside? That means that your altcoins are going down to, you know, dying. Okay, so altcoins during this, you know, sideways phase on Bitcoin over here, Bitcoin dominance was going up, so that means that altcoins are dying, literally dying. All your altcoins are going to shit, right? So that's what it means. So this over here was actually death of altcoins, right? So that was death of altcoins, and then, you know, Bitcoin dropped down here and we consolidated. So over here Bitcoin did go a little bit towards downside over here, and you know, and it was being worse performer versus altcoins. But at the end of the accumulation phase, right over here at the end of the accumulation, the first move towards the upside up here, the first move towards the upside, Bitcoin exploded and killed, you know, everything. Bitcoin exploded, killed everything. So this move towards the upside, you know, it was some kind of 40% move in dominance above altcoins, right? So entire move up here towards the upside up here, this was you cannot actually do this, but this move up here towards the stop from, you know, 3k to 14, 15k, this move you know, gave Bitcoin 40% dominance over everything. Now what's happening up here right now is that we are coming out of this you know, accumulation zone, so we could expect, you know, a 40% move towards the upside or something like that, right? So I'm not saying that altcoins are not going to go up during this move, because they definitely do go up. It's just that Bitcoin goes first. Bitcoin goes always first. But here's the good news, guys. Here's the very, very good news. As soon as you hit the stop up here, actually not actually even you know, actually a little bit after, you know, the second top up here, give or take. This is the second top, yeah, give or take. Let's say it like this: once you hit the top up here, entire move towards the upside down here until the real bull market started, right? The entire move after that, altcoins outperform Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin comes to some kind of top, and after that the altcoins perform you know, outperform Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is going slightly towards the upside, but altcoins are, you know, exploding all over the place. So altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, and then comes the you know, this bull phase up here. So what you're gonna see here at the exact start of the bull market up here, the last phase of the bull market, and up here to the first stop up here, Bitcoin exploded again towards the upside. So it was beating everything. So Bitcoin always goes first. Bitcoin always goes first, and once Bitcoin reaches some kind of top over here, and then this was the you know, altcoin rally, right? So over here from Bitcoin reached the top up here and went, you know, towards these highs. This over here, this part over here, when Bitcoin dominance was dying, Bitcoin was exploding towards the upside. So imagine this: Bitcoin is exploding, doing 100x, right? It's not 100x, 100% towards the upside, and yet altcoins were doing more gains, right? So that was the altcoin season over here, right? And the altcoin season lasted all the way up to the second top up here, and then, you know, everything, you know, started, you know, consolidating, stuff like that. So what we are expecting right now, at least what I'm saying, I'm still expecting the Bitcoin to outperform altcoins, unfortunately, until it hits some kind of top, whether that's going to be at 35 or 40 or 50 or 45 or 30k, I don't know. Still expecting, and once, you know, the Bitcoin is done and money starts moving out of Bitcoin into altcoins, then altcoins explode towards the upside. It's not too late. Yeah, altcoins are definitely not too late. Like, if you want to buy Bitcoin, it's not that it's not too late, but the upside from 28 to 30 to 35 to 40, it's not that big. And you gotta be really, and you know, most likely if you buy, you're not gonna buy the dip. You buy some kind of green candle and it goes down, then you get scared and you start selling, then you know, and then it goes up again, and then you know. So right now, it's when it comes to Bitcoin, it is kind of scary buying. I gotta tell you that at 28k, but because we don't know whether it's gonna be 28 or 30 or 35 or 40 or 45, we don't know that, but it's kind of scary. But when it comes to altcoins, the altcoins are definitely still in accumulation zone. Unfortunately, they take a longer time to, you know, mature and explode, but eventually they will also mature and explode, and everything will be nice and dandy for us at the end of the game. So Bitcoin right now going inside this channel again, going inside this channel. And how this channel will eventually play out, you know, that's the case. But I will consider this, even this move up here outside of this zone up here, even though it was a bullish engulfing candle towards the upside, I would consider this a sign of weakness, because the fact that it's already broken towards downside just a little bit, it shows that, you know, bulls are losing a little bit momentum towards the upside. So watch the channel and watch the getting out of the channel towards the upside, because I think it might be a small, you know, correction or small consolidation phase sideways after the channel and then towards the upside. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully it just explode towards the upside up here, which actually can do, like we just saw on the air side. I mean, we are still not a 90 RSI or anything like that, so you can do this move up here and then do, you know, bigger dump, because this dump over here is not gonna be big. But if you go up to 31k and then dump down to, you know, 25k, then everybody think it's over, it's gonna continue dump, and then you do something like this up here and go up again, and then everybody's like, oh my god, I forgot to buy the dip, and then you're at 36k, right? So, you know, there is something like that that can actually happen. So we are definitely watching, but I think it's already showing signs of weakness. There's that. Oh. 48%. Morning, Alva, how you doing? Okay, guys, there is that. I don't actually have anything else to, you know, talk about. So enjoy the day. Do some trading, because guys, you can trade both towards the upside and downside. You know how Bitcoin moves. It doesn't matter. The volatility matters, and you know where you're gonna do that. You know where you're gonna do that. Bye. Have a nice day, guys. Bye. 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 Yeah, guys, that was the end screen. We are finished. When the end screen comes, the stream is finished, guys. Okay, I'll see you around, guys. We're done. We finished. I'm gonna go and you know, work out. Bye bye. Have a nice day.